Alright, so today I'm going to tell you and show you how to take a silica sample. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set up your calibrator. So your calibrator here is already calibrated by the manufacturer. In the box that I'll be sending, you'll find this adapter for these silica funnels to take a sample. So what you're going to do is you're going to attach it to the top of this. You just remove it and you plug it back in, and that's all you have to do to set up the calibrator. It's already charged. There's also a charging cable in there if you need it, but these have a pretty good battery life. Alright, so the second step you can see is we're going to open the media and attach it to the sample pump. So in this you'll have the sample media. This one's a blank, so you can use this to calibrate your pump. You'll have the pumps with the tubing, and then you'll have 3 of these filters for silica sampling. So silica is ran with these because of its respirable qualities. This separates out big chunks that go into this pot, that's what they call it, and it falls through this. So you have to attach this to the media. So when you attach it to the media, you will open the top portion. So on the bottom it looks like a wheel, and then on the top it's open, you can see the filter. So you'll take the coin and you'll open this up like so, and it will eventually fall off. So there you have the filter, and then you're going to attach this to this. It fits in perfect. You just push and it sits in there perfectly. So then you'll see that it's flush, it's in there, and it's ready to go. So from there you are going to attach it to the sample pump. You'll take off the red button on the other side and you'll plug it into the pump that has the tubing on it, and you're ready to go to take a sample. Alright, so the third step is to turn on the pump and let it run for 5 minutes. So after charging it overnight, with or without media on it, I suggest letting it run for 5 minutes, about 5 minutes, because they sometimes have a surge from the battery being charged. So you'll turn them on, let them run, and this is the pump. So I will show you how to turn it on. You just click on the circle with the line, and that turns it on. And this one we already have the media already attached. And then it will say run. You click the check mark. Battery not full, that's alright. I didn't charge it. And it will start to run. So I suggest just leaving this on there. It will get up to our 2,500 cc's per minute, and it will run. And then when it's been done, you just click this check mark again. It will say pause or stop. And we'll go down to stop, check mark again. Oops, sorry. And that's it. Alright. So step number 4 is to calibrate the pump to 2.5 liters per minute. 2.5 liters per minute is what OSHA sets for a silica sample to be analyzed by the lab. That is set so there's enough volume being pulled in for them to analyze the sample. Over here we have our pump that's still on, and we have our calibrator. So the first thing you're going to do is hold on the power button for the calibrator. From there you'll see the inside light up, and it'll make like a sound, and then it'll turn on. You're going to click enter to measure, and then you're going to do continuous. You'll use the right arrow, click continuous, click enter. It's ready to go. And then over here we are going to take our pump and we're going to attach it to the media that's attached to the sample. So this is actually plugs right in to the end of the calibrator. It plugs right in like that. So from there, we have everything set up. We're going to click the check arrow again, and click run again. Battery's not full, that's all right. And it's gonna go. And from there, you'll start hearing this click. That means the sample's being pulled through. What you're trying to look at is the average here. So I suggest waiting at least until this runs twice, and it gets to 10 twice, so it's about to hit the first one. And you'll record that number on your sample sheet. So you have to record 3 pre-cal measurements. So I'll show you at the end what that sample sheet is going to look like, but you'll be recording that over here on your sample sheet where it says pre-cal in the units, and the same with the post-cal. So once the sample has been calibrated to 2.5 liters per minute, or plus or minus 10%, you're ready to take the sample. So you'll take it off of this, and you'll bring it to the employee, and you'll put it on, I suggest putting it on their back hip, and having them adjust it. So you'll put it on your back hip, back pocket, whatever is easiest. I try and keep it out of the way of them, so they're not being bothered by it. Some people like it in their pockets. And then you'll take the media, put it over their shoulder, and make sure the sample is being pulled from the bottom. Make sure you don't tip over these funnels. Clip it to their shirt at the top, like this. And you'll have the sample over their shoulder. Make sure that that line is out, facing out of the air. This actually is where the air comes in. Once you have that set, you'll turn on the pump and do the run function again. And you'll run it for, if it's a 10-hour shift, you run it for 9 hours minimum, 12, 11 hours, and 8, 7 hours minimum. And that's all you do. Once you're done with taking the sample, you will pause it, and then you will get ready to post-cal it. So the next thing you do after taking the sample is you're going to post-calibrate. Just the same way that you did whenever you calibrated it for the sample. So you already have it on this. You'll plug it into this again, to the calibrator. Make sure your pump's on. Make sure the calibrator's on. You'll do the run function again of the calibrator, and you'll start to hear the pump, and then you'll start to hear the calibrator start clicking again, and then you'll take 3 measurements again, record them on your field sheet, and then you are good to go with the pump. After that, once it's done, you will take off this funnel. Make sure you don't tip it over, because sometimes the larger particles can fall back onto the filter. So you'll take it off, just as if when you put it on. Take it off. You'll recap it with that plastic piece, and then recap the end with the plastic little stop piece. And from there, I will next talk about filling out your field notes and how to send this back to the lab. So the next step is to record all your field notes onto our IH sample sheet using the IH sampling card that you use for noise sampling. On the back was the noise, and then on the front is actually the IH portion. It talks about if respiratory protection has been used, equipment name, supervisor, stuff like that. So on the sample sheet, you're actually going to record your employee information that you sampled, who sampled, date, time, shift length, pre-post-cal values is actually 5%, not 10% as previously stated. Sorry about that. Your blank number and your IH sampling device. The sample media actually has a serial number on that. I use that as the sample number. Every piece of sample media has it on there. Just use that as your actual sample number. That's what I use. The calibrator, pretty self-explanatory, serial number on the back. And then the pumps, they have them as well on the bottom. So you'll see it right there, the 2013 1020037. Anytime you take a sample, you always want to send one blank per 10 samples. The samples, if you're taking a couple samples per week, these can go out, I would suggest no later than a week. So in here you'll see all the media in here. If you do a blank, make sure you open it by popping off the top and just let it sit in your office for 5 seconds, and you'll send this off to the lab with their sample that you collected. So on the sample sheet, you just need to record all your information, weather conditions, PPE, field notes, etc. The average flow rate is going to be 2.5 liters per minute. You're going to multiply your total time by the average flow rate, and that should actually give you your total volume. That total volume is crucial for the lab. Once you have all this information, you should be good to go to start filling out your chain of custody to send to the lab. So the next step is to ship the sample to the lab with your chain of custody form. So I will have some of these in the box already for you. You will fill this out to completion. The billing invoice information, just put my name, Haley Roof, on there with Oxy, and then you'll report the results to myself again. The client sample identification number, again, I just told you to put the serial number from the media on there. Date sampled, time sampled. Media, you don't have to worry about volume, area. You had calculated that before. And then number of containers, you can just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Analysis requested will be quartz silica, resveratrol. And once you have this printed, you will actually take that and fill it out to completion, and then you will sign the bottom of the form here, collected by, relinquished by, and then date and time. This will definitely help for all samples. You need to make sure you have those on there. And then page 1 of 1 or whatever. So from here, you will box up your blank sample plus the sample you took, or however many they are, and then mail it to one of these labs, which is whatever closest to you based on your location. After you have taken the sample, you're now going to charge your pump. So you can have this pump, and this is the charger here. It just sits on it like this, and it will charge, and just charge it every night before you are going to take the sample. And that's how you take a silica sample.